I appreciate that there are families who do face considerable pressures. It's often as a result of some decisions that have been taken by those families which mean that they're not best able to manage their finances.
And we know what this government thinks about those who go to food banks, because the Children's Secretary said that people who go to food banks only have themselves.
In 2011, 11,000 Welsh people depended on food banks for the limited help. Now the figure is 60,000.
Unfortunately, we're seeing huge levels of food poverty in this area. The levels have risen to the extent of around 160% since April of 2013.
Because there's so many people in real need. I think whichever charity you run, whichever organisation you run, there's bound to be some, a minority that actually will try and get what they can out of the system. But we've had so many genuine cases coming through. It would be horrible not to have this, but the genuine cases, and they are the majority.
Those politicians are not ground workers. They are far above what we are working with people that we see.
People have become poor because of within their own society has changed their processes as well.
The fact that the benefit system has changed seems to have led to a lot of people finding they can't manage financially. The employment situation, there's a lot of unemployment in this area. And so to me it's a really key charity to be involved in, because simply a lot of the people we see would not eat if it wasn't for us.
It's easy for politicians to sort of argue whether there should be or shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a situation in this day and age, I believe, there shouldn't be a situation where this has to happen. But if we think back to the time of the miners, when the community got together to help each other, when there was a miners' strike, the community is fantastic around here. It's a fantastic community, and they give to help each other, those in need at the time.
Family of four, we'd be talking about giving out quite a lot of food actually for a 3-day supply. We would give out cereal, so possibly a couple of boxes of cereal at least. We would give out dried foods such as rice and pasta, and we would give out things that could go with those foods, so pasta sauces, canned tomatoes, that kind of thing. We also give more readily usable foods that don't have to be cooked, things like biscuits, so that they can have a source of immediate sort of carbohydrate and energy. We give tea and coffee and sugar to everybody, milk to go with that so that they can make drinks, they can eat cereal, and we give a variety of tinned foods, things like soup, baked beans, spaghetti, tinned meat and vegetables, tinned fish, and also tinned fruit, and things like rice pudding and custard, and also tinned sponge pudding. One of the easiest ways to help the food bank is to just pop a tin in the collection box when you're shopping. In probably most of the big stores, certainly we have collection points at the moment in Tesco's and in Sainsbury's and in Asda. We also have collection points in some of the co-op stores and here and there in banks, in building societies, dentists, all sorts of places. So that's first and foremost, anywhere, any of those places, just drop a tin or a packet into the collection point. If you're really keen to help, then get in touch with us in Bridgend and apply to be a volunteer. The volunteers are fundamental to the food bank. They are the food bank, and without them there's no way that the food bank could work. We have probably in the hundreds of volunteers within the Bridgend County at the moment, and they are amazing and fantastic. They turn up week after week, they run the food banks, they stack the warehouse, they pick the orders, they bring the food in from the supermarkets, they deliver it out to all the food banks, endless jobs, and also they run all the admin and clerical side as well. So the volunteers are absolutely the crux of the matter. You could also encourage any organisations that you are involved with locally to become involved with the food bank and to make collections for us on a regular basis. Things like churches, Girl Guides, Scouts, schools, all those sorts of organisations can be very helpful in collecting food for us. Well, the biggest needs on a day-to-day basis for the food bank are the donations of food. We need food to come in all of the time, so the need is to build up relationships with churches, supermarkets, schools, with communities in general, to ensure that we have their support and that the food continues to come in. I think in addition to that, we need money, because we need to fund things like our delivery van, our warehouse. There are sometimes times when we don't get donated the right types of food, so we have to buy in additional food to the donations to make sure that we're giving out a balanced diet. So obviously food and money are constant and ongoing needs.